Hey, welcome back to Be Seen and the Shedding Light Show. This is Shedding Light on Ghosts, and not just the ghosts we've come to know and love in the United States. We're going back to the motherland, the fatherland. I don't know what land it is, but it's over there, and we're going back to the UK ghosts, hence the UK title, and a different cast that you're used to seeing. Some of the other stuff is going to remain the same because I didn't get to talk to my guy, good old VHS Jason time. So anyway, I am not alone, of course. I am joined by William Morgan, who is my co-host to do all things ghosts and shed light on this wonderful show. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. You know, when we decided to go into the UK show, we are going to be talking about the pilot. And of course, we have to do the odds-on comparison between the two.
Yes, that'll be fun to see what you think.
Yeah. We're going to get into all of that. But if you are listening on our podcast, this is the Dis Dungeon podcast, and we are glad you came to the dark depths to get some light shed on you and get into the TV world. So we appreciate you. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, we'd really appreciate it if you give us a rating. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. Yeah. All those wonderful things help us and helps us grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. So just costs you a little bit of a finger tap. Just a little bit. Just a little doop. Like, yeah, subscribe.
Plus, we are very awesome.
I think so. Yeah.
We're great people. You enjoy it.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. I promise you. All right. So we are getting into Ghosts UK. And of course, this is the show that started all the huge phenomenon that became now a global phenomenon, because there's Ghost France, Ghost Germany, Ghost India, just that I know alone. So I was very surprised to know that it had grown that wild, but very happy because I do like the concept. And I got to tell you, I am a Ghostbusters fan at heart. That's what started me on the whole paranormal world. So when I ran into Dan Aykroyd on the street and I was too shy or nervous, believe it or not, I do get nervous. And didn't say anything. I was like, I think that's Dan Aykroyd. I'm pretty sure it's Dan Aykroyd. He walked by with his glasses and put them on and said, yep, it's me, and walked by me. I was like, but
you seem so confident in the podcast. I can't believe that you were starstruck.
Yeah, every now and then, like Brent Spiner had me starstruck. Even when I saw Brent at the last convention that I went to, I still didn't go up to him. Because for some reason I went to Frakes and Dorn and a bunch of other people, but now like doing the podcast and speaking to these guys, and you know,
you get comfortable.
I got comfortable. Yeah. Now I'm okay. But back then there was that timid part of me. I don't know what happened, but you know, my good buddy in Australia, VHSJ, says they're just regular people like you and me. They're on TV and you're not. That's it.
Right.
So
I met. Oh, sorry. I met Olivia Newton-John backstage.
Oh wow!
No, first I met her twice. First time it was at a fan club in gathering in Vegas, and she came to that. And when I went up to her, I was so starstruck because I'd loved her since 1973. Oh wow! You know, I mean, and I got to talk to her a lot, and after that I was like in a daze. You know, like I can't believe that happened after all these years, because that was like 2009, I think. Yeah. And then a couple years later, I talked to her about my cancer, and because she had cancer, you know, eventually killed her. She had breast cancer twice.
Wow.
And it came back in her back, and she was still performing. And then she would have meet and greets afterwards too. So I went to that second one because we had VIP, and actually I'm friends with her manager's husband, and she was just so sweet. The second time I wasn't as starstruck, but nicest person. And she was like asking me how my cancer thing was going, and, you know, stay strong and all that stuff. And
that's awesome.
And I still can't believe it.
One of the most uplifting people that I've ever spoken to, it was Melanie Smith, who played Torzial on Deep Space Nine.
Oh,
she was also in Seinfeld. She was the one that saw George naked, and George like, yeah. So unfortunately I had a lot of trauma that I kind of bottle in, and it's because of certain things that happened to me in my childhood. And she wrote a book called Unfinished Business, and it kind of like, you got to deal with that trauma.
Oh, wow.
And I had the luxury to interview her on a screening of Sacrifice of Angels, and due to the friends at Trek Long Island. And we ended up becoming really cool. And we were chatting, and we still chat to this day.
Yeah.
It's a very awesome experience, and I am eternally grateful
Yeah.
to Trek Long Island and her, because she actually helped me mend with a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But we're here to talk about ghosts.
I know.
Yeah. So let us hop into the first glance. We're going to talk about the first episode, and in first glance, it's going to be a little longer this time because we're going to go ping pong with the characters. So let's hit up the first glance. All right, Ghosts, Series 1, that originated in 2019. We're talking about the first episode.
Yeah.
Who Do You Think You Are? This was directed by Tom Kingsley, written by Matthew Baton and Jim Howick. This came out in April 15th, 2019. And it did a heck of a shot on the viewership. It got 5.5 million viewers on its release.
And that's a lot in England.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. That's the whole country, basically.
Yeah.
So the concept here on this first episode is Alison and Mike Cooper, a young married couple, are shocked to inherit the formerly great estate of the Button House from a distant relative of hers. The house is haunted by a collection of invisible, intangible ghosts who died across Britain's history from prehistoric times to 1993. These ghosts retain their appearances from their deaths and can phase through walls, but not floors or ceilings. I like how they put that note in there.
Yes.
They
don't have a manual.
No. They cannot eat or drink, but require sleep. They cannot leave the property until they move on to the afterlife.
Horrified superpower,
horrified by the couple's plan to turn the house into a hotel as they experience great pain whenever the living pass through them, the ghosts unsuccessfully attempt to haunt the couple into leaving. Finally, a disgraced politician, Julian, pushes Alison out of the first floor window, and she lands on the grass and is taken to the hospital by an ambulance. 2 weeks later, she awakens from an induced coma that left her clinically dead. When she returns to the house, she learns to her horror that she can see and hear the ghosts. Now, the first thing I got to say on this episode, it was a lot darker. Now, I'm unfortunate to have seen the US and then go back to UK. I didn't know it would popped up on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. How were you original UK ghosty, or were you always?
No, my first was to the US version, and then people are saying you need to watch the UK version. You need to watch UK version. So I gave it a shot, and I did not like it at first.
Oh wow!
I got through 2 episodes, I think it was, and I just couldn't. If they were so different from our characters on our end, and I loved ours so much, it was hard for me to go to that way. I think maybe if I started there and then went back to the US or started the US version afterwards, I may have liked UK better. However, this time I saw it in a new set of eyes.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's very good. It's dark though. It's very dark. And I guess that's just the way the British are.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more. I mean, you think about it. Their nursery rhymes are very dark, like "Ring Around the Rosies" about the plague and stuff like that. So I can kind of I get it. It's their kind of culture. But yeah, Julian pushing her out the window.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, I forgot.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was thinking he's not going to push her.
And then you see his hands, like yeah.
How did he do that though? Because he has he has Trevor's power.
Yeah, he's Trevor. Yeah, so let's get into that. I'm glad you nice little segue there. So we're going to go and hop into the different characters and their comparisons to the US. Of course, we're going to start with the oldest of the bunch, the caveman, Robin, and Thorfinn, the Viking. I think that this is the perfect comparison. I think this is exactly right. I'm not going in any order. I'm just kind of going, not by time order or anything. Right. Then you got Pete. And the UK version is
Pat.
Yeah, Pete and Pat. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. So you got Pete and Pat. They're both Boy Scouts. They both didn't make it through an arrow. That's probably one of the sickest episodes because the ghost version, he manages to last quite a long time, and it's pretty gruesome. But
look at his arrow.
Yeah, it's in a different wear,
and it's smaller.
Oh wow! Yeah,
because originally when Ghost started, Pete's arrow was longer, and it kept hitting people, and it comes really close to someone's eye once.
Oh,
So
wow.
so they shorten the arrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good catch too.
Mhm.
The next one is, of course, Julian and Trevor.
T-Money.
T-Money. Yeah, I think that these guys are pretty much,
Yeah.
so, you know, they're one's a broker, one's in Parliament, but it's
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
But I think, I don't know, because I've only watched one episode, I don't know if Julian's going to turn out to the way Trevor turned out of being a good guy who's just, you know, misogynistic. This
No,
guy seems like he's not going to.
No, he's not.
Yeah, because it was a sex scandal that he, you know,
that's how he
was
died.
involved in. Yeah.
So it just keeps worse for him.
Yeah.
We've got the two captains. We got the brigadier and our beloved Isaac.
Yes.
One thing I noticed, a lot of people are saying Isaac's kind of the focus too much of a lot of the U.S. ghosts.
Last season.
Yeah, last season.
With the whole Nigel thing.
Yeah, the Nigel thing, and this season with the stripper. So maybe.
Yeah.
Chris. All right. We've got the ladies of the house, the Barrel Robin herself from the U.S. and the lady, the Lordess herself.
On her.
Yeah.
I looked her up. What's her name?
Lady Stephanie Fanny Button.
Fanny, yeah.
Yeah.
I looked her up, and the actress who plays her is so much younger than her looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she disappears in that makeup and hair.
Oh, wow, you're right. Her name's Martha Howe Douglas, and she's only 44. She's my age.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. They do a great job with the makeup.
But Rebecca, you can see her, you know.
Yeah.
But she's an excellent actress, and she disappears into Hetty. But if you do a comparison to real life and her in costume, you can see her. The hair is a little bit bigger, but that's
right. Right. So this one is where I think it gets a little bit skewed. Of course, Sam and Jay are of the flip side of the Alison and her husband here, but this one is the one that puzzles me.
Okay. The
poet and Sopsies.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't think about that, honestly, until you just said it, because I was thinking he has nothing in common with our ghosts. It's like he shouldn't even be there. But I never thought about the storytelling with Sopsies and his poetry.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison. I never got that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Maybe as it went on, maybe I will.
Yeah. So Matthew Banton, he plays Thomas Thorne, a melodramatic and easily influenced Regency periodic romantic poet who was fatally shot in a duel in 1824. So I would think Sopsies is kind of like 1700s. I think 100 years before.
Yeah, because Sopsies is 500 years old.
Oh, yeah. So then, for sure. And then, here's a larger comparison of the entire cast. They don't have the headless guy in the U.S. version here, but
I see that.
Yeah, the two characters that are omitted here are in comparison would be Kitty, who some say is Alberta just because she's a voluptuous African American woman.
I did not. I thought because she was kind of
ditzy.
That was exactly what I was going to say. And I was looking more to Flower.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. So I think they might have combined Flower and Alberta for that character because nobody on this side can sing in the UK version. Yeah. So I find that to be pretty interesting.
They did do a special singing episode after the series ended, and Kylie Minogue was in it.
Oh, wow.
And Kylie actually could see ghosts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think they have that on YouTube because it's not on Paramount Plus where I watch it. I don't know where you watch it.
Yeah, I watch it.
Yeah, they don't have that special on there.
I saw the UK version on HBO Max, and then it came to Paramount Plus like right after. And that's how I stumbled on. I was like, oh, like I'm paying for this because I was doing Shedding Light. It originated with a show called Last of Us, and that's been on hiatus. So it's been such a long hiatus, and then. I was like, oh, what else is there? I'm paying for this. I might as well see what else I got. But so that's the comparison of the actors and the characters. Let's get into the depths of wait, there's one thing that you called out and we'll go back to some of these characters. The headless guy you said is also Robin, you said, right?
Yeah, the head.
Yeah, the head. So that's the same actor.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't catch that. I think they did such a great job.
And you said about the basement.
Yeah. He of course, Julian is also one of the basement ghosts in the very first episode. And I believe you said that Pete had done that same role.
Yes, just in the pilot.
Just in the pilot. So
Yeah.
a lot of callbacks to face each other. All right, so let's hop into this episode. Let's get into the thick of it. All right, so this is the inaugural episode, the pilot. This is where everything kind of comes together, where the young couple,
where it all began,
where it all started.
Worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, who knew? I wonder if these guys knew that this was going to be that big. I'm curious to see what they.
Yes, some people on shows that say, "No, I never knew it was going to be this big. We just, we're in our little studio or stage." And some people, I had a feeling this was going to be huge. So you never know.
Yeah. I did like how the Robin's character was actually quite intelligent. He was beating the captain in chess. Mm-hmm. He was explaining stuff to the other characters in the show. I was like, he's not the idiot character at all. He's not a comic relief. He's actually
funny,
pretty smart. Yeah, and he's funny. The actor does a great job.
Yes, so. I laughed mainly at him.
Yeah. The Simon Fonby, he plays Julian in the early plague victim. Yeah. He, to me, looks like Benny Hill's long lost kid. I would be so funny if Benny Hill was like a womanizer and he was like a illegitimate kid and then became an actor anyway.
Yeah.
He does.
I didn't catch that. Yeah, because I haven't seen Benny Hill in decades.
Yeah. No, I said Benny Hill really stands out.
Yeah, my dad liked him, and I watch him too.
Yeah, but so a lot of the powers are very similar. Mm-hmm. But another thing that happens in this one is the ghosts have like residual issues, like Lady Button relives her murder every night.
Yeah, but we don't find out it's murder.
No, that was the big, the big reveal at the very end.
Yeah, because I think that's I don't give it away. We're going to do the next episode, right? Ghost UK. Well, I think if I remember correctly, because she says she's never told anyone what really happened,
right?
And I think if I remember correctly, when she did tell somebody, she didn't throw herself out the window anymore.
No, she kept doing it.
Oh, did she through the whole series?
Yeah, through the.
Oh, I misremembered then.
No. I don't think I think it's just a passing thing. But like in the first episode, she keeps even though she lets everybody know, she still does it.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe later on that she says something and it happens.
Yeah, it's been
Alison,
2 years since I saw the pilot first time.
Yeah. So basically it's the adjustment of the married couple coming into this mansion that they think, just like the US version, that they can turn into a hotel. They do it themselves. And the ghosts are like, what? A hotel? Nope. And the darkness in this one is instead of, Julian's character pushing a vase down, he does knock a cup down to the floor.
And they all cheered.
Yeah, they try to haunt them out. And then in this version, it's instead of an accidental happening, it's on purpose. Julian goes and just pushes her right out of the window. She falls, gets into a coma, as I said in the.
That was dark.
Yeah, very dark, very dark. And of course, Julian's the first one that notices that she can see them, and because when Alison comes home, she looks at Julian and says, "Shouldn't you be wearing a hard hat?" And then he's like, "Whoa, you can see me," And then they do this really cool, creepy, like ghosts coming through the wall, walking up on her, and she freaks out. And that's how Alison finds out that she lives in a haunted mansion. But another thing that was great is when her and her husband go to the basement. Mike, his name is.
Yeah.
The plague ghosts, instead of cholera, they had the plague. You see Simon again, the gentleman who plays Julian, as one of the plague ghosts, and he's chatting with her down there. And they have a similar setup, and throughout the show, it's basically the same thing.
There were a lot more plague ghosts than the cholera ghosts. That surprised me.
One of them,
a lot of them.
lot of them down there, which I
What
thought.
I think is pretty cool. I'm sorry.
No, that was good.
I find it interesting how the U.S. version for the pilot kind of followed the exact same template for the most part, with little changes here and there. I wonder if was it the Italian version and the German version?
French, German, and Indian.
I wonder if they followed that same template for the pilot.
Probably, I would assume so. I would assume they kind of just copy paste. The only difference is like the timepieces of the ghosts in the house, because I saw one of them had like Genghis Khan type of guy, and Genghis went pretty far, so I think he might have made it to Germany or something like that. But yeah, so basically that's the whole setup, and then the ghost you really spend a lot of the time on this show, unlike the US one, on the eyes of the ghost. You spend most of the time with the ghosts, and you find out how how Button died, and she never told anybody, and they thought, oh, maybe now that you've said it, it'll stop, and then it keeps happening anyway. So then they realized, well, Julian's power, he can move things, so maybe if we change the clock around, maybe she will have a different time where she jumps out. So what they did was they changed it to like sometime in the morning, and when the thing chimes, she jumps out of the window, but it's in the morning, so it's like when everybody wakes up, so the ghosts are like, oh, there you go, we fixed it. I thought that was very funny.
Do you think in the US version, Sam and Jay are in the pilot, it's through her eyes, I think?
That's what I feel.
I think it was flipped with the UK version, where it was told from the point of view of the ghost, and I didn't feel like that. Their Sam and Jay had a lot to do in the episode.
I mean, until the fourth season, I really feel like it's mainly the happenstance of the ghost, unlike the US version where it's mainly about Sam and Jay. So I guess there are subtle differences just in overall teleplay, but I still think it's a great show. The ghosts here spend a lot of time talking about things that happen in their lives, and they're sharing it with the group. So they do like a weekly share, and we get a character that is kind of like a period piece. She's like she actually doesn't have a witch. She's the witch trial victim.
Oh, with the char.
Catty Wax, Mary Guppy.
When she gets mad, she puffs out black smoke.
Right, exactly. That's her ghost power. So but you get a lot from her, and she doesn't really have a count. I mean, she's the Puritan, I suppose, would be her counterpart. Patience.
Maybe. She just cracked me up, but a lot of time I couldn't understand her with she has a strong accent.
Exactly.
I put subtitles on some of the British shows I watch because they're heavy accents. Because I watch some things on BBC America, and sometimes like, what? Talk so fast. And
I always think of Brad Pitt in Snatch. You ever see that movie? I can't prepare. Like he said it, he really did a good job, I thought. Kind of absorbing the dialect. And he spoke so fast, and it seemed like it was jumbled, and like I legit had to put the subtitles on and feel, oh, that's what you said all these years,
Thank God. Subtitles.
The subtitles, greatest invention for television ever. So that's about it. Let's get into the wrap. So the wrap is they're going to stay. They're going to live their life in there, and then when Alison comes home, right before he comes home, she asks Mike, well, did you get the appraisal for how much it's going to cost to fix everything? And he was like, no, at the hospital. But when he came home, he does have the report, and he was like, well, I took some loans, several loans, and we're going to fix the place up. So it's kind of similar in that way, but they don't have a reoccurring character that kind of like a Mark kind of goes through the whole process. It's just kind of like happening around them. It's not really a focal point for the show. The show is really based on the ghosts, which I thought was an interesting concept. So, of the things that you witnessed in the two versions, which one? I know you prefer the US one, but which character kind of stood out to you as your favorite in the UK version?
The cavemen and The Lady Fanny. I liked those two.
Lady Fanny, really? Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I like Hetty so much. I don't know,
maybe,
but
maybe.
and I think she has a quiet, sarcastic kind of humor.
Oh, just like Eddie.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
think I got that.
I like Fanny. She's a lot of
Mhm.
fun, but it's Robin and for sure one of my favorite is the captain. They
Oh,
I really like the play on his sexuality being
mhm.
closeted, but it peaks out very similar to Isaac.
Yes.
But he's like the de facto leader, and he stands up for the ghosts, and
Yeah.
he's the plotter. He's like the
He's
real
respected. He's respected.
He's
Isaac
very respected.
isn't as
Yeah, they're
a
totally different. They're
officer.
like, whatever, Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Like he is kind of like the main pillar for the rest of the ghosts,
Yeah.
and then I would say almost the main character of the show, besides um, Lady Button.
Yeah.
So I really dug that character. It was very cool to see and see him come to fruition here. His name is Ben Wilbond. He is like, you ever watch that movie Hellraiser?
I don't think I've seen that one.
No? Oh, okay. So
The guy with the spikes.
yeah, the pins in
Yeah.
his pinhead.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen that.
So for some reason, he just reminds me of that character because that
Ooh.
character was a captain that just dove too deep rather into lores that got him in trouble, and he became Pinhead. So this guy, you
Okay.
know, yeah, kind of just went in the Button house. They kind of like set up shop there for a time, and unfortunately died in the Button house and never moved on. But yeah, the Ghosts. If you have time, friends, and you love the lore of Ghosts US,
Mhm.
and you haven't seen this, make sure you go back and watch this version. It's a lot
Yes,
of fun.
definitely.
It's darker,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot to unpack.
I'm looking forward to seeing how if my perspective changes on who I like more than the others, because in the U.S. version, mine kind of altered as seasons went on based on characters' behavior. So I'm wondering if that'll change with me as I watch the rest of UK. Because now I'm going to, because originally I was like,
Yeah, but now we have a podcast, so might as well fill in
yeah.
the time. Yeah, before we go on our,
Mhm.
because I think the show leaves in the summer and comes back in the fall for the 5th season, or
Ours,
yeah, the US version.
um, it'll be the late September, early October when they
Yeah,
come back,
one of
because
the
they start filming in February.
yeah. So I know they wrapped up season 4,
Yes.
so that I'm assuming that means they have to start filming season 5 over the summer.
Yeah, they always start in February, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, so they do like 2 seasons throughout the year?
The US version?
Yeah.
No, they start filming to get through, I guess, because they get a lot of technicalities. Because most shows start filming in June or July for the fall season. But for some reason, Ghosts do it earlier. And I think because they have that special effects, and maybe that's causing them to do it early.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be back, but we will be back in April to catch up with our Ghosts in the US.
Yes. Can't
So
wait.
be sure to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with everything that's going on. And then we're going to say a special shout out to our friends in the Ghosts Sucked Off Worldwide. They
You know
had
that name.
they have some really fun comments that I'm going to
Yeah.
read.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they really nailed it, I think, for a lot of the comedy here.
Well, you're looking at the comments. I'm looking at the characters, Kitty.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't know if she's going to be one of those where she's going to be so annoying because of her seeing the best in everything and over the top that way. I'm just wondering if that's going to be annoying to me as I watch.
Could be.
Yeah, she seems sweet, but I don't know. It's just I think that could get annoying, I think.
Yeah. So one of the ghosties from the group tagged me. Her name is Annie Landon, and happened to be one of my best friends growing up was named Landon. So that's a fun.
Cool. I thought you were going to say she was your best friend.
No, that'd be hilarious. Oh,
That would be.
How you doing, bud? No. Annie Landon, right. So our good friend Annie Landon tagged me in a really cool post on the Ghosts forum and the Facebook page. I'm going to share that with everybody now. So if you're not watching us on YouTube and you're just checking out the podcast, I'll describe it. It's basically a really disappointed young lady holding the phone, and there's the caption because it's a meme. It says, "When there's no new episodes of Ghosts because of stupid basketball." Shout out to Greg Thrill who left a comment. It just goes to show you it takes a lot of balls to preempt Ghosts.
But bump. I'll be here all week.
I'll be here all the week. All right. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode this week. I had a blast talking with the UK version.
Yes, it was fun.
We will hop into the next episode next week. And then Ghosts US returns, I believe, on the 4th.
The first week of April.
Yeah, the 4th.
Where it falls, yeah.
4th or the 3rd. We'll hop back into the US until the summer.
Yeah.
So I'm Joe Dub, and with me, as always, for Shedding Light is
William Morgan.
That's right. And Bill and I will be back next week for some more UK Ghosts. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. And, if you want to comment below. Let us know what you thought of the UK Ghosts. If there's a certain ghost that was your favorite, let us know in the comments below, and we'll feature you next week.
Love to hear
on
that
the episode. Yeah, we'd love to hear more. So engage with us, chat. We're friendly. We're not ghosts. We're real. It doesn't take me much to push the buttons. So until next time, subscribe and ring the bell so you're alerted of when the episode drops.
Yes, you won't be sorry.
You won't be sorry. All right, and give us that like. It's free. We'll see you next time.
Bye.